Today I'm going to show you the best way to get your hobby farm and homestead organized. Hobby farmers and homesteaders have so much to deal with through the day. You've got to collect eggs, you've got to plan the garden, you've got to plant the garden, you've got to clean the garden, you've got to manage your animals, you've got to look at finances. Some of us have full-time jobs on top of all of that. So how are you going to keep it all organized? Today we're going to go over 3 great planners that are going to help you keep your sanity. I believe there's 2 people. 1, planner addicts, and 2, people that just haven't found the right planner yet. Planners help you get grounded. They give you a time every day where you can look at what you're going to try to achieve for that day and then take into account all of the other things that you need to keep a big focus on, like your finances, like your new habits, like your goals, all these things other than just day-to-day, hour by hour. The hobby farm and homesteading world has 3 really great options for helping you, and understanding the differences between each one is going to help you know which planner is best for you. I am a freelance journalist for hobby farms, and I have created an article on their website that's going to go in great detail about each one of these books. But today I just want to kind of show you, let you physically see what they look like, and go over some of the things that I think they shine best at. First, I'm going to start with the Farmhouse Planner. This one is awesome because I love the cover of it and I love the cording, and maybe you don't think that's super important, but when you're throwing it in and out of your tote bag and it's getting tossed around and you're pulling it, you're going to really appreciate something that's sturdy and that's not going to start falling apart. It's a great size. It's something that's easy to reach for every single day. One thing that this planner has that the next 2 do not are these amazing tabs per month. That's going to be the easiest thing. Whenever I know I'm scheduling out in April and I want to jump to that, I can do it so easily and I don't have to do any pre-work. It's already ready for me. The other thing that it includes are this goal section. You can go ahead and line out whenever you have time to sit down and use whatever method you prefer to set your goals. This is a good way to record them. So you've got 10 opportunities here, and they're going to be in the very front of your binder to keep referencing. The homesteading section is really nice as well. It's going to start out with your gardening zone calendar. It's going to give you approximate freeze dates, all the things that you know you need to have memorized but don't always seem to do that. So it's going to be in your binder. You can always flip to that page and find it. The other thing that's awesome is that she included a companionship guide. This is something that I feel like I have pinned on Pinterest, on all these boards, and I try to go back and find and reference, and it's awesome that it's going to be right here on your calendar whenever you're making your garden plan. The next thing is a seed start tracker. All of us know that those are going to start at different times. Some require longer periods indoors than others, so this is a good way to keep all of your dates straight, and you can make for when you plan to go ahead and plant them inside and then plant them outside. The garden budget is an awesome resource. I know it's really easy to just buy $2 seed packets here and there, but you really should be keeping track of how much you're spending so that you understand what your goals are. If you're going to profit from your garden, or if you're going to just try to supply and make up for the money that you're spending, or if you're just going in the hole, you should probably reevaluate how you're doing things. This graph paper is awesome for garden plotting. I know I worked with a garden coach last year, and she's a huge graph paper kind of person, and it really got me onto that. So I love the fact that this is in the planner. This is one of the many colored pictures in this planner. That's something that's also unique to this one. The other ones do not have colored photos. It's just warm, it's homey, makes you feel a little bit more relatable, gives you that green and that gold that you have right now. It's January and nothing's green, so it's kind of nice to see that. All right, the next section she puts in the middle of the next quarter of the year is homemaking. This is your pantry and inventory. Once you start canning things, you're going to want to go ahead and record it here. You're going to do your baking supplies right here. If you're trying to keep track of any kind of market gardening, any kind of baking, especially if you're looking to make a profit, it's going to be important to record all those details. Freezer inventory, especially if you butcher your own meat, that's going to be awesome. If you freeze your fruits from your orchards, that's going to be important to know, and pressure canning as well. And finally, the extra tab that's included is your journey. This is going to be something where you sit down and you really evaluate what worked for you and what didn't. And as long as you're recording it here, you'll always have that as a reference in the future. Next, I've got the Homestead Journal Planner from Homesteaders of America. If you are a homesteader, you are definitely familiar with this organization. They are kind of the end-all be-all of homesteading. They really bring together all of the gurus and the pros, and they do lots of conventions, they do classes, and they publish a planner. So today I'm going to show you what's inside of that. I feel like this one is really beneficial because it helps you as you plan. If you're looking at your homestead or your hobby farm to be profitable or as a business, to me this is your best guide. They are focused on breeding and making money with your vegetables. So if you're looking for a manual for your farm, this is definitely manual material. They've got a 2020 vision tab, and through that they have dates to remember, seasonal to do, so they're breaking up your year in each season. You've got to look at each season at the beginning of the year. This goal planner is extremely helpful. It's not just about once you decide your goals, let's record them. It's going to take you through the journey of planning those goals as well. They've got website logins, daily rhythm printable, and they've got some financial records. This one shines with its financial records. It's definitely more detailed than the other two planners. So if you're looking to, like I said, be profitable, if you're going to go throw all your information back in QuickBooks, this is going to be the thing that's going to ready you for that step. So they have tabs that include seasons. They're seasonal tabs. So the first one's January through March, April through June, July through September, and October through December. What you can do to remedy that is just to find the main header page of each month, and each month is going to help you remind yourself of your financial records, of your goals and your habits. It's going to show you ways to track those. It's going to give you harvest production records, monthly pantry inventory, monthly freezer inventory, not just the one section for those things. You've got weekly priorities, grocery lists, what to plant or harvest this specific week, and then this is what your day-to-day is going to look like. You've got goals, tasks, chores, delegate, schedule, and empty blocks. The weather, they've got a weather spot here, and your menu's got a spot. This is per day, so this is my Monday, this is my Tuesday, and then plenty of room for journaling. I like this delegation tab because it is assuming you realize you're not going to get everything on your goal list done, but you can still include it if it's not just for you. You can write who you're going to do that, and then you remember to follow up with that person. The way that you can keep order without having a tab per month is just to stick a paper clip on the monthly tab. So you know to go to the top, find your little paper clip, and go to that month. There is a remedy for the situation, even though it's not the most convenient. Okay, so all of the months are going to be together back to back, and then we're going to go to the Homestead Planning tab. Right here, this is going to give us a look into next year. So whenever you think about those things like, I really need to do that next year, I really should have planted this here, they've got a spot for you to run and do that, so that whenever it does get towards the end of the year and you're looking forward to the next, you can kind of see those little tidbits that you were just sure you'd remember on your own, but probably won't. The Homestead Records and Expense. This is intense. This is why this is the best manual for running your homestead or hobby farm like a business. You've got garden production, garden expenses, poultry production, poultry expenses. We breed chickens, so we understand that. We should be recording how much we're spending on medicine for the chickens, how much the feed is costing. Also, if we buy a new rooster or a new hen, we should be recording that. And then we should be talking about how many eggs that is producing, if we're selling any offspring, all of these things. So for my son, it's going to be a really great area for him to get involved with because he's kind of running his own little chicken business. So you've seen us talk about that on our channel. This is going to be a great way for us to educate him on how to keep a ledger, how to keep what's coming in and what's going out on expenses. Home dairy production, home dairy expenses, livestock production and expenses, and beekeeping, farm, and all of those expense records are very detailed. They're the only planner that has all of those specific things. So if you're looking to really keep records, this is going to be the best one for you. Livestock health records as well. So they've got the breeding, medical, what vaccines, what worming, all the things easy for you to do. And finally, the garden section. Way, way, way more graph paper than the others. If you have multiple gardens or multiple ideas, this is going to be helpful to have more than just one page. plant summary printables, another area for garden layout, seed inventory, seed sowing schedule, preservation inventory, and then a canning cheat sheet, which is great because that is a goal that we have to do better canning this year. So it would be nice to not have to Google that quickly, that I can just have this all in the same manual. And an herbal inventory. If you're getting into using them for medicinal purposes, making tinctures or teas, this is something that's going to be good to keep on hand for all of that. So the other thing that's really cool about this planner is it is a little overwhelming. It is heavy, it's a lot of work, it's a lot of prep on your side, and it's a commitment to even use it. But they also have ways to teach you how to use this so that you can get ideas and be inspired to use it to the best of your ability and maximize its potential. And finally, we have Jill Winger's Old Fashioned On Purpose Planner. If you know anything about Jill or the Prairie Homestead, or you follow Prairie Cookbook or any of that, then you're gonna really, really love this. It's written in her same tone. She's very relatable, very approachable, but very godmotherly homesteading. She truly knows it all. She understands where we are as moms, as hobby farmers, as homesteaders, and she also knows that we desire to do more with our land, with our kids, all of those things as well. So she's awesome. She's a great mentor, and this book, if you're already in her system, if you already follow her on all of her socials, then you're gonna love it because you already feel like you know her. I love right here that she kind of puts homesteaders in 4 different categories, being the visionary, the motivator, the connector, and the thinker, because understanding yourself is really the first key to planning and knowing what you want out of your homestead. Every month has a project planner, and I love that too. So you're going to brain dump. This means you're just going to sit down and you're just going to let your brain unload all the thoughts and the things that you want to do this month. And you can reach for the stars and then you can dial it back. Okay, so you're going to dump right here. You're also going to prioritize. You're going to say, no, really, what's the most important? And some of these bottom ones you're going to understand might have to move to the next month, but at least you understand and you're getting it on paper what all is in your head. So here's our get it done section. She says what needs to move this project forward, and you have action steps. So here's our goals. Here's the actual action steps that's going to take to move it forward after you prioritize. So number 1 priority is going to come over here and you're going to make your step. 2 priority over here, make those steps. You get it. So really there's 4 spots because there's really probably only 4 things you can get accomplished each month if you're really hustling. List for the month. They are unedited, or they're not filled in for you. So if I want to say my cooking list, I can put it right here. If I want to put my day job right here, I can do it. If I want to do my boys' practice schedules or chores, they can go right here. You get to make the list, and I love that because I am such a list maker. But also, I don't want to have to like skip big chunks of my planner because I don't really relate to that. So this is open for you. Also, your habit tracker. If you want to drink more water, if you want to eat healthier, you're going to actually fill this in so that you just don't feel like you're doing good or bad at it. You can see if you're actually doing it or not. So I like this entire concept of making things concrete, and things have to go down on paper. Priorities go on paper, plans go on paper, habits go on paper. Put it all down and you will be more motivated to get it accomplished. Here is the monthly overview. You're going to just, have your one big month where you can write down everything that you want to do and your big days that stick out, and then lots of room for goals and habits around there. Again, this one does not have any tabs other than the make it, grow it, record it. So what I have done is I have made a paper clip so that I can flip to the month easily. So there's my February. Next is my March. Next is April. So you're going to basically create your own tabs, and it's very easy to do. So I know this is not a great feature to not have tabs, but you can easily do them yourselves. As for the cover, it's a little bit flimsy. I think as much as I'm going to pull it out and use it, I would like it to be a little bit thicker. It's a very matte laminate, but I've already got corners bent, and the coiling is already starting to come out of the bottom hole. And this actually just caught my sweater too. So that's something I would love to see improved a little bit on, but for now, it is what it is. Jumping to the Make It section, it's awesome that it has a little folder right here because I'm one to stick things in notebooks as well. But it's gonna let you do your pantry staples. You're gonna see what she suggests you should always have in your pantry, and that's always helpful as well. You can write down what you have in your pantry, what you have in your freezer, much like the other books have done, but then it has these really great guides. Obviously, Jill is very, very educational with cooking and cooking old-fashioned on purpose. So if you're already using her cookbooks, then this is gonna be a great companion. But if not, you are gonna feel more inspired to cook more home style just having this planner. It's nice that she goes ahead and does conversion charts for you over here, and also gives you some substitutes. If you don't have this in your pantry, the recipe calls for it. Some of these very, very basic things you can go and find what the substitute's gonna be. Menu inspiration, canning and preservation journal. Again, more and more, obviously she's expecting you to do that a lot if you're following her system and you're using her cookbooks and you're understanding canning and home style cooking. Fermentation log. I don't know how many people love kombucha out there, but this is a great time to be recording if you're doing that. How to make quick pickled vegetables. So again, you're growing your garden, you're canning it, you're preserving it. She's going to give you a little cheat sheet for pickling. Water bath canning. Here's the cheat sheet. The pressure canning cheat sheet. Sourdough starters. Sourdough care and maintenance. And sourdough tips. So far and away, this is the most helpful for the people that are looking to cook a little bit more from scratch, home style cooking. This planner is awesome. Moving into the Grow It section, this is going to be your garden section. We have multiple pages of graph paper, which you already know I love. You get an inventory of your seed stash. So like next year, if you need to know what the actual brand was, you can. Because I know once they go into the garden, I've learned this from experience. Once it goes in your garden, you might have a little popsicle stick that says tomato, but you didn't fill out the 12 kinds of tomatoes that it is. So if you're gonna put that in here, it's gonna help you next year whenever you know that area of the garden, those tomatoes grew the best. So record it, be detailed in this, and then out there with your markers, you don't have to be. Companion planting and crop rotation. So this takes the planting one step further. We had companion planting in the last two, but this rotation schedule is really nice to look at too. So when you're drawing out on your graph paper where everything's going, you can look at last year, you can go ahead and just make this little rotation in it and plan your bed for next year. The garden journal, this is where you're gonna put things like whether your squash bugs attacked and when they attacked, so that next year you understand, oh, I think everything's going great in March and April, and then the squash bugs always come in May or something. It's gonna help you be alert and on it for what happens in your own backyard. Since we all live in such microclimates, we can't tell you exactly what's gonna happen. So make sure that you're using this and recording notes, even if they seem small, even if it seems like your dry season for 3 weeks. Record that so that the next year you can have it on your radar and be a little more prepared. And record it section. This is 2022 at a glance. This does include your animal health records. It's not as detailed. It does have a breeding section, not as detailed, but it is nice to have those things. They're very short pages. We do lots of goats and sheep, so it would not be adequate for us. But if you've just got a few things that you're trying to breed, then this is definitely ample space, but it'll get you at least in the habit of starting to record that stuff. And then just your overall year plans. Just don't forget birthdays, anniversaries, all that fun stuff. Also, books to read this year. I know that's a big thing right now to post how many books you want to read this year. Well, you got to be intentional. You got to decide what you want to do before you can accomplish it. So this is a good time to get you thinking in that direction. Same thing with skills to master this year. Be intentional. Set it down. Be concrete. Put it on paper. Also, Jill has a YouTube video up of how to best use this planner. So she's going to help educate you so that you understand and think about things in the way they were intended and the way she wrote them. So in conclusion, these three are really great options for hobby farming and homesteading. There's just so much that you want to get into one book and your thoughts down and your goals down. All of these are going to do that. Where they shine is the Farmhouse Planner is going to be the best one. If you're taking it in a tote every day, if you don't have time to really use it as a manual for your life, this is going to get it done. You're going to be able to flip to the days super easily and quickly. It's going to be durable, and it's not intimidating to use. You don't feel like you need to go on and learn how to use it. The Homestead Journal. If you're a homesteader, you're a hobby farmer, you're trying to profit off of your land and your farm, this is the manual for you. It's going to educate you. It's going to give you the most places to record those things. The old-fashioned on-purpose planner. This is something that's going to take you on an educational journey about cooking and canning and all the things that you want to use. If you have any kind of ties already to Jill Winger and her products, this is going to be the ultimate companion for that. Sit down with it, learn how to use it. You will fall in love with this planner. We're going to link the Hobby Farms article that I wrote below, but something that you really need to spend some time figuring out about yourself before you go shopping for the planners is how do you want to manage your time the best. There are lots of ways, tricks, trendy tips, all these things. We're going to time box, we're going to time chunk, you're going to get her done, you're going to, eat the frog. There's so many things out there, but I think the better you understand yourself and how you best plan will lead you to whatever planner that you can choose. There are people that either love planners or planner addicts, or there are people that I believe just haven't found the right planner. So planning is going to help you stay grounded. It's going to help you focus on what you need to get accomplished, and I believe everybody's going to benefit from planning. But the thing that you can do for yourself is figure out what is your best management strategy for your time. Once you have that accomplished, you'll know which planner is going to work best for you. So I hope this planner review has helped you so that you can know what you want to spend your money on. And we are product researchers. We really read reviews, and we pay attention to how we spend our money so we know it's most wise for how we can bring things onto our hobby farm, whether it be the sheep and goats and dogs that we're raising or the products that we're using. In 2022, we plan to do a lot of product comparison and reviews to help you decide what's going to work best for your area. Next up is going to be our countertop garden review. If you've ever looked at those that grow with the little LED lights on your countertops, we're going to let you know how you can best spend your money. So subscribe and keep checking back, and in the comments below, let us know what products you're currently researching and shopping for, and we can help you out with that too.